Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your boy, Marshall D. Teach. Get ready for a very spicy deck profile featuring OP09 here on the channel, let alone a leader I am very excited to play in OP09. This will be my new main going forward until OP10 comes out and we gain access to a bunch of new stuff for Doflamingo. Up until that point, you guys will see a lot of Marshall D. Teach content here on the channel, along with multiple other different decks for OP09 and some older leaders that got a bunch of new stuff going into this set. Now, without further ado, we're going to dive into my list that I've been cooking up today with Teach. I want to go ahead and showcase this one to you. I feel a little bit confident with this one, enough to show it to you guys that I'm ready. It's a lot of fun. I do hope you guys are going to enjoy this one. This list might be a little bit different than what you may be used to. It might be similar to you. You might see some ratios here that you guys want to adjust in your own list, you want to talk about. Drop a comment down below and we'll get into it. Now, there are going to be cards here in this list that you will see in every single Teach deck, and it is what it is. This would be considered our shell. So we are going to be running with 4 Von Augurs, 4 Jesus, Burgess. We are going to be playing with 4 Shiryu. This is going to be your 2K counter, and we are going to be running with 4 Stronger. This is also going to be your 2K counter. Marshall D. Teach did not get a lot of 2Ks here in OP09, so we only have access to 8 if you want to, 4 and 4. Today we are going to be running 3 and 4. The other 2Ks are going to be with Bart. Now, typically, I am running a Blackbeard list with Manshuri, and I'm having a lot of fun with this card, and I think it very much suits this list, but I wanted to show you guys something I felt confident enough to go ahead and talk about and go ahead and play games with. I think she's really good here. She does suit this list, and there are cards in here that you guys can take out to fit her in. I've been utilizing Ice Age quite a bit, so this does take up that slot. Generally speaking, I don't run Ice Age, and I often run in 2 Shiris, and I go up to another 2K with Shiryu here, but that's typically what I normally do. Now, we'll talk about why this card is good before we dive into this deck list real quick. There are a lot of Shanks players running around. They're going to be in OP09. There's going to be a lot of new decks that you guys are going to be playing against. The Sherry here helps you cycle in your 2K Bart from trash, typically into the late game. So you will have those situations where you have a Teach on board and you have a Sherry on board. So if you're able to go ahead and activate her ability, you can grab Bart back from the trash, play it back down on board for free, essentially, because you got it back from the trash, right, from her stuff, and then have another blocker on board in that situation. This allows you to be able to do this each and every turn with her effect, as long as she's on board, right? And then when she gets targeted, she also acts as a blocker in herself. And that is something in this deck that you will see very quickly, that a lot of your characters here are pseudo blockers for you, even though they aren't necessarily a blocker, if that makes sense. So, if you notice, we have some very good curves here when it comes to Marshall D. Teach. If you are going first, you're looking for Doc and Laugh. These are going to be your main 2 characters you guys want to see in your opening hand outside of your 10-drop. And of course, your 10-drop, you must run 4 in every variation of Marshall D. Teach if you want that consistency. And it's the same concept as you're playing a Katakuri or a Pudding deck. You are going to want to see 4 10-cost Big Moms. This card is a staple, and the upside to it, its effect is ridiculous. But in the opening hand, seeing a variation of these 3 cards is something you're generally looking for in most matchups. Now, going first, you're able to drop Laugh here, and on the following turn, you can do the search. Hopefully, you can draw into a Doc or a Von Augur, give or take, depending on your opening hand. You want to have your board set up prior to playing Jack. And if you already have the 2 with these guys here, Doc and Laugh, going into your 5-Dawn turn, you have access to Von Augur here, which allows you to pop characters on board from your opponent, which is generally pretty strong. Now, each of these characters here have a rest ability, so you have to activate this ability by resting this card, which will also act as a blocker, which a lot of the time, Marshall D. Teach not having that many 2Ks, having characters that act as blockers technically prolong you into the late game, and that's something in which you very much need to see in order to win most matchups. The other cards here are going to be Laboon. Laboon is another activate main, right? But he goes very, very well with cards like Jack. Jack, we all know what Jack does. He's a very, very strong card, and he's one of the, how you say, like the most broken, a lot of people would say, in the current metagame. Jack being able to rest himself, KOing any character that's a 3-cost or under, and drawing 1 card and cycling from your hand is pretty strong. Your opponent is going to have a hard time dealing with this, especially for on play. So cards like Red Rock will be the only thing that you can typically see to remove Jack outside of Kaido. Because you got to keep in mind, your leader ability will turn off all on-play abilities if played properly, which sometimes I forget to do it, and sometimes he will forget to do his leader ability. It is what it is. But you really only have to worry about Kaido if Jack is in play, unless you are playing against a blue deck. Considering what Kaido allows you to do, he trashes cards. So any ability that has the word trash on it, like Kaido, Brook, they can typically target Jack with enough removal. Kaido is the easier way to get rid of this, but a lot of black decks you're going to run into this format for Rob Lucci and Perona will often utilize Kaido, so be mindful of that when you guys are playing and utilizing Jack here. Going forward, we're also going to be playing around with Finger Gun. I typically run 3 to 4 copies in most variations of my Teach builds. I feel that Finger Gun is pretty strong, and I think a lot of Lucci players, you know, would say the same. Going into this format, this is still very, very good of a card, because you guys are going to be playing against Bonnie decks in OP09 as well, which we don't necessarily have too much of an issue with, but being able to Finger Gun Basil Hawkins or any big threats on board like Eustace Kid is pretty strong, because it only takes a Laboon or a Von Augur plus Finger Gun to remove a big threat when it comes to Kid or Basil Hawkins or something of that nature, right? Which is pretty strong. The other opportunity would be Ice Age. This is going to be hit or miss. This is my personal preference. I very much enjoy this card. It helps me out with Jack. It helps you out in the early game when you don't see your Jacks or you don't see any other board removal. If you drop an Ice Age with a Doctor, you're killing 6 costs that are on board, which is pretty clean, right? And then when he does die, he gets to replace himself by +1, drawing a card, which is kind of nice. These can be taken out, and usually, when I'm not running the Ice Ages, we are using Monshiri just to fill that slot. So we use 2 of these, and we'll go up another 2k counter in Shiraya. But typically, I've been playing around with a build like this, and it's doing well for me. I'm having a lot of fun with it. The other 2 cards that are going to be very detrimental to every single variation of Teach are going to be This Is My Age. I believe this is going to be called something different when it comes out here on next Friday. You know, the names and stuff are a little bit changed, but just like this card, this is a stage, and it looks like just a regular event, so to be mindful of that as well. In any case, this is just a searcher event that does have a trigger, so you can search for up to 3 cards on top of your deck that a Blackbeard Pirates add to your hand, put the rest in the bottom. Or sorry, put the rest in the trash, yada yada. The same ordeal. This helps you find your Marshall D Teaches and set up board for Doc and Von Augur. That's generally about it. Liberation, this helps you remove Borsalinos and Sabos. So when Sabo gives you that blanket effect that can't be KO'd, as long as you have a way of minusing, you know, his cost with something like a Von Augur or a Laboon, you drop Liberation, it negates Sabo's effect, and then you're able to trash it. The same thing with Borsalino, it negates his effect, and then you can trash it. It's a very, very strong card. I'm not sure why it's printed right now. It's phenomenal, and I think it'll probably see a lot of play going forward in Blackbeard. But the other card in which I'm not too impressed about so far would be the Stage. I haven't tried a variation with Teach yet that doesn't use the Stage. I do feel like it does get value. But in my testing in the past week or so, I have not really relied on this card, if you will. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, I don't. Typically, I'll throw it away for Teach's ability, but often not. I don't even utilize it as much as I probably should. You know what I mean? It's kind of just there as a throwaway for Teach sometimes, but it does have a decent effect. It does allow you to toss 1 card from your hand and do the search similar to this ability and add it back to your hand. It's interesting, but who's to say? It's also searchable off your Lafe here, which is pretty strong. But overall, we are going to dive into a bunch of games today as we normally do here on the channel, so I do hope you guys are going to enjoy this one. Remember, we are diving into an OP09 metagame, so you might not see a lot of Blue Doflamingos or, what's the other deck? Bonnie here. So I'm probably going to run into a lot of decks that are either coping or trying older stuff, or older leaders trying newer stuff here. But in the future video with Teach, I will be looking forward to playing against Doflamingo players once Sim gets updated, because I feel like Dofi, before we get into this real quick, I feel like Doflamingo, Blue Dofi, is going to be your hardest matchup going forward in OP09 for Teach. Outside of two other decks, but they're generally rogue. Dofi is going to be your hardest matchup just to the fact that this man can build board very, very quickly, and that's something that you struggle with as Teach, is a wide board. So if you guys don't see the removal pieces in the early game, like I mentioned here, this matchup is going to be very, very challenging. Once Jinbei hits the board, he's able to put Jinbei down and then +1, right? Once leader swings happen after that, that's 3 bodies on board. If you guys aren't timing your leader ability, this deck will cook you 100%. The other decks that are going to be problematic for you are going to be rogue decks that I've come across so far, and I think you guys probably can agree. This would be Zoro and Bello Betty. Bello Betty will be back in OP09. Zoro is still here from OP08 occasionally, so you might find this at your locals as well. But both of these decks go wide very, very quickly and just do the aggro thing. And sometimes it does overwhelm you, more often than I like to think, you know? But those are going to be your worst matchups that I've come across. So let me know your experiences down in the comments below. I'm sure there's another deck I'm not, you know, bringing up right now, but each their own. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Come at you guys with Blackbeard and OP09 playing against in green, Uta. Hope you guys are going to enjoy this one. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to get my hands on this leader. Let alone, my graphic designer is working on a phenomenal Blackbeard playmat. I will let you guys know as soon as it finishes. It looks incredible. But that's probably a couple days from now. I'll post that on the Discord, let you guys know when it's out, and each their own at that point. But anyway, let's dive back into this matchup here and see what we can do here with Green Uta. I will tell you that a lot of these decks coming into OP09, some of the older stuff, right? Everything utilizes on play. So I feel like Teach is one of, if not the best deck going into OP09. Of course, we will still be stuck with Blue Doflamingo, Rob Lucci, and Jewelry Bonnie, and Black Yellow Luffy, but a lot of those matchups Teach bodies. Black Yellow Luffy is no problem because we turn off his leader skill, which is awesome. Bonnie is not really an issue for most black decks, just to the fact that we can just remove board. Doflamingo is going to be your biggest problem, right? Lucci is going to do very well against Teach, depending on how he techs the deck. If he is utilizing Kaido, it can be a problem. If not, if they're still going the older engine, or they don't have room for Kaido, or they haven't found the sauce, quote unquote, they're going to be playing around with Gekko Mori and the Rob Lucci package still, which you can turn off the abilities. Kaido is a problematic card still for black decks, I think, just because he can remove your Teach no problem, outside of Red Rock, you know what I mean? But Uta, on the other hand, all of her abilities, I think, are still going to be on play. Even with the new structure deck that she's just gotten, it might be an uphill battle. They did gain access to Shanks, so Shanks being a 12k body, as long as you guys can pay attention to the Dawn curve and discard accordingly before Shanks hits the board, we're typically fine. Because we know what the play lineup goes when it comes to Uta. There's a 7-cost Luffy, where once they hit that 7 Dawn, they're going to drop the Luffy on board. It's kind of just, it's cemented in us by this point. Going to as many Uta events as possible. I think we all know how this works. Once that 7 Dawn curve comes, you guys want to activate your leader ability. That way Luffy can't get multiple bodies down for that turn, which typically end up being something like Luffy, Brook into Uta, or what have you. I'll go 8 here first, and then we'll drop a Burgess on board. which he's a 7k body now, so he's pretty strong. We'll get rid of this. We don't need Augur at this point. If I'm able to chain Teaches in this matchup, I think that's probably our best bet. Because she doesn't have any means to remove them. Not even with Shanks. I think we're fine. I'm more worried about the Zoro than anything else. To be fair. I know that sounds a little crazy, but yeah. There's 6. Got another Uta from that. We'll give you the 2k. Actually, no, we'll take this hit. There's no reason to do that. I'd rather get a card I can throw away, and I don't really want to throw away the 2k counter for Teach's ability. 2 Laboons, not what I want to see. And yeah, you could argue my hand's not the greatest. It's not. It's really not. In an aggro matchup at a hand like this, I'd probably be cooked already. But going into a slower deck, like Uta, we're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. If this was a Jewelry Bonnie matchup, this would be pretty good too. Let's go ahead and go 10 here. I'm trying to force the Luffy block, but if they want to take the life, awesome. We'll get Laboon down. We'll toss the other one. Laboon probably isn't going to get any value here unless we can find a Jack. But that's okay. It's all good. Because this will also give them the idea of they have to remove it. So we might see a, what's that card called? A Blackout to rest it and attack into it or what have you. Maybe they'll waste an attack just to remove it, which is okay with me. Alright, so they're going to go for Burgess. There's nothing we really can do about it. Yeah, 10k going to the 7. You got it. There's a Brook. I wish we could guard out. That'd be great. There have been occasions where I got this guy up to 10k power just by attaching one Dawn with all the rest of the stuff that we have in trash. It's kind of nutty. He does do so much work. And often not your opponent has to attack into them unless you're playing against a blue deck, which is crazy. So Brook won't work, which is great. We should be able to drop Teach here and be fine. It's a little weird because there's not a big target on board that Teach can really affect. So I guess we'll just stop Brook this turn from attacking. I don't think she'll attack me with Luffy. And if she does, we can just clap back with Teach. It might be a good idea to go ahead and freeze him, but I think she'll attack with Brook instead. Even if it's just to go 5. So now we can use Laboon as a pseudo blocker here as well. We'll get rid of a 2k here. We'll pass it over. I just want to see what she wants to do first. Because in this situation, what she could do is go 7, or sorry, stack 7 down on Uta, swinging for 12, and then restand herself and do it again. That's a play that she can take if she has the I'm invincible. Okay, so Mihawk goes to the bottom, or sorry, Mihawk doesn't go to the hand. Go 6 here. I like to think this is okay, but just in case she's trying to bait me, I don't want to block out with a 2k counter. Yo, that feels bad. That feels bad. I am so sorry. I am so sorry for your loss. Yo, how mad? How mad do you think they are right now? That's crazy. I felt like that was one of those, ooh, they blocked, I'm so excited type thing. They definitely got excited. Oh well, it happens, man, it happens. And I guarantee you, in local play, we're gonna run into a lot of players doing the exact same thing. Just playing cards on board, trying to activate effects, and forgetting that Teach said no, you know? Alright, so we'll go ahead and nullify that. We'll block Shanks from attacking. And then in this situation, we can get rid of Ice Age here, because we already have Laboon on board. Go 5 to face. This will force cards from hand and or the Luffy block. Okay, that's a Gordon. We'll go 5 with Laboon as well. He'll act as a pseudo blocker for me here. Which I'd imagine she'd run Brook into, but what do I know? We'll go 12 lead as well. Cool. No trigger, unless it's a Pump Gibson. That would suck. Then she'd have a clean way of removing Teach on board. Awesome. Okay, so we'll discard Ice Age here. So far, Uta hasn't been able to play any characters on board that have an on-play effect, and we're still doing well. Although we had a bad hand in the early game with no counter for majority of the swings that we had to take. Which is only 2, but still. There's attacks earlier that we should have blocked if we were able to block. Okay, so they are going to swing here. Oh boy. So 13. You better attach the rest of it. Alright. You're going to learn today. What do you use with 2 Dawn here? That was more important than killing the Teach on board. What do you do? Alright. You really saved 2 Dawn for Blacklight. That's crazy. I don't know if I would have done that. I think I would have just went 15 and Teach and called it a day, truthfully. But we'll take those. I just chained back another one here. We'll free Shanks again, and we'll drop the island for Teach's ability. Sorry, Shanks. And now we can just go 5, 12, 12. You brought this on yourself. You could have had 2 Teaches on board. You could have. Give me that Luffy blocker. Let's go. It's an Uta. They decided to take that one, which is crazy, but alright. We'll do it again. So they have... I'm sure they have enough counter in hand here where they could do it. They could probably counter this out, but I think they would counter with Luffy, with the block here. And then they would have to hit Uta, Brook, Luffy, restand with I'm Invincible to perhaps go for game. Just in that order there. Because I'm going to discard my card before I end my turn, right? So Brook can be a guaranteed damage. Unless they don't have the counter for this. And if that's the case, I just lose. Oh, cool. Alright, we win. Sweet. We'll trash that. Alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into another game here real quick. I have no idea why Uta decided to leave without saying goodbye. Quite rude. So if you see this video, have a good day. In any case, we are going to be playing against the Odyssey. So I will be reading these cards occasionally. That way other people can understand what they do. Because I know a lot of people overlooked a lot of the Odyssey cards here. Let alone aren't interested in playing Limb. And I can understand. I get it. So, don't mind me. I'll try my bestest to read them out to you guys. In any case. It's probably better for me to play Doc here. That way I can just pop the Law. And then she can kill Doctor on the following turn. But let's play Laugh. Just in case. Yeah, let's play Laugh just in case. We'll get the search off. We did find the Von Augur, which is nice. Alright, so it paid off. We did great. That was really good. So she did get the Sanji. So she has an ability for next turn to play down the Sanji from hand, if she wants to. I don't necessarily think it's worth it to discard for our leader ability just yet this early. It's only Sanji, and he has the on KO effect, not on play. So, if she opts to do that, that'd be totally okay. So Law should kill my Searcher. Let's go. No hesitation. There you go. Alright. Just going 5. Get another Von Augur. Interesting. Our hand is not the best right now. I tell you what. It could be a lot better. We do have a lot of 2Ks. Okay. That's the Searcher one. Yep. thankfully she can't restand. We're going to try to play around this as much as we possibly can going into 9 Dawn. Because that is a problematic card here for us to deal with. We go to 4. This I'm not really worried about. But if we can clear it, it's probably better here. So perhaps we play Doctor down. We use Doctor to pop Law. And then we go 7 with Teach into Limb. Which wouldn't be too bad. And then she'd have to crack back and kill Doctor the following turn. So hopefully this works out. We know one of the cards in her hand is a no counter card, at the very least. So that's 5 others that she has left. Cool. A lot of them must not have counter. Awesome. We'll do this. We'll end the turn. I want to save him until we can get Augur down. That's probably just a better bet. Because next turn we go to 6 Dawn. That way we can play down Augur, and then the following turn we can play down Jack. If we can get there. That could be the mindset going into it. And we didn't use leader ability there, so there's not really any threats on board or anything I'm worried about just yet. Okay, Chopper's pretty solid. I'll be fair. He's a pretty chunky blocker. But Ice Age and Doctor can remove this without an issue. It might stall us out a little bit of getting Augur down, but if we play Augur instead, we'll at least have a body here. Because now we still have to play Ice Age though. Yeah, we still have to play Ice Age here, I think. Or we can save it till next turn. Let's go 6 lead. Because I don't believe Limb runs with a lot of cards or any cards in general that have removal. So, we might be fine. She should block here with Chopper and give me a 1k counter unless she wants the card here. Alright, so she gave me a Nami and a Sabo. Interesting. Let's discard a 2k, get the effect going. Because this pushes her up to 8 Dawn. So she does have options here for Eustace Kid or any of that nature. She could be running it, I don't know. I thought she was supposed to be at 8 Dawn here. So, that's a little weird. She must have played a purple card earlier, which I didn't really pay attention to much. And minus the Dawn. It probably was a Chopper, but it's okay. That's fine. We'll guard out here. Another. No, we'll take this hit. If she has 4 Dawn open. I don't believe she has any rush units here at all, so I should be fine with taking this one just to get another card. Ooh, that's good. Well, that's our only option, so. No teaches yet. Go 6, I'll counter out. What do you play? Sanji, okay. Restands Chopper. We get a Marshall D Teach. Let's get Blackbeard down. Let's do the thing. This is like your board state in every perfect game you're trying to aim for. And it's not that difficult to find the Doctor and the Von Augur. The Jack sometimes is the issue. But this is why I kind of space in Ice Ages to play around with Doctor as well. That way I have multiple different opportunities of popping something on board. And you have Liberation with Finger Gun to be able to have other options of getting rid of cards. So it's not all just Jack. Yeah, it's probably better for me not to remove the Sanji here. Let's pop this. And you know what? What could go wrong? Let's do this first. We'll get rid of Finger Gun. We don't necessarily need it just right now. I'm going to go 6 in the Sanji. Now, whether or not they want the body on board or they want to give me counter, I'm okay with either. Nice. I don't care. That's fine. Yep. On play doesn't work there, so we're chilling. I have 6 left. We already stopped their on-play abilities with our leader ability here. So we don't necessarily have to worry about the, what's his name, like Aldo or Ideo. I don't know. I don't know his name. I'm sorry if I butchered it. I apologize. It'd be what it'd be. Okay. So she can't play that down. That's 5 other cards in hand that we don't know of. She didn't protect the Sanju because she wanted a Lemma on board, or she didn't have counter in hand in order to do so. But she only needed a 1k there. So I'm not sure if letting him go to take a life and then play a card from hand was the best move. Because otherwise she would still be at 4 if she had the counter. Interesting. I don't know why they decided to play Queen here. Queen can't get the draws off, and it comes in the field rested due to Lynn's ability in the first place. So, either they forgot, or that was just like their best play they can do. Get rid of Burgess. Okay, Salbo, he's on attack. Yep, when attacking. Sorry, not on attack. But yeah, I guess it's the same thing. Let's play Teach down. Let's freeze the leader and then Sabo, so she can't activate her ability. I know it's kind of irrelevant here, but the freeze really helps out. And then we need to remove the Teach on board. Or it's not the Teach, sorry. We need to remove the Queen on board. Lim, I'm not really worried about too much, because I can't remove everything right now. We'll give this -3. Actually, yeah. Do that, pop this. Doctor's not too bad, we already have one. So that dies. And then we can just go 5 to lead here. She did have counter. Ice Sage for later. Get rid of the Burgess. We at least have Ice Age for a big character this turn. Again, it won't have the on play, but she still has to put something on board at some point, and we know that she has the big drop. It's just, she needs to play it. Because at this point, we're set up so I can just remove it easily. And that's with or without Ice Age, because we can just play down Laboon, use the Laboon and Augur, and then pop it with Jack. So that would give me Augur, Jack, and Laboon, which would be pseudo blockers at that point. I think she's struggling here. Okay. She's going in. I mean, it doesn't hurt me too much to take that, so I think if we were to block with Teach, she has enough Dawn just to Dawn up on Lynn and go and kill Teach there. Not sure why you're dining up Sabo, but okay. You know, each their own. I'm not sure. Mistakes were made, I'm assuming? I can't wait, because I know people are going to do this stuff in locals too, where, like I said, they're going to play characters on board and activate the on-play effect and forget that Teach said no, and then they're going to be stuck in that scenario. I guarantee it's going to happen. If they didn't put the 2 Dawn there on Sabo, they had 13k they could attack into the Jack with, which would have made me block with Teach and give both cards in my hand here. Which I think would have made a difference. It definitely would have made a difference. Does that either let Jack go or... Oh well, we tried. Okay, so we have Liberation here, which we can do. But Laboon allows Jack to enable the pop. So, let's get Laboon down. We'll -4 here. We'll pop it with Jack. Let's do this one first, actually. And then we'll do Jack to pop a limb. Nice. That was pretty good. That was really good, actually. Let's go to search off. We'll take another Blackbeard. How convenient. If this damage goes through, cool. The 12k is guaranteed as well. And we'll toss. It's probably better to toss the Ice Age, but we have... She could very well dawn up and kill Jack or Blackbeard here. So it doesn't necessarily matter as much. I think if we were to lose one, we'd probably lose Blackbeard at most. And we toss the Blackbeard just in case she plays a big body this turn. Actually, you know what? I don't know why we threw away the Blackbeard. It's probably better to throw away the Liberation there, honestly. Mistakes were made. That's fine. We don't need them. Oh, is she going in? Alright. I guess it really didn't matter if we kept Blackbeard there or not then, huh? Because now she can do her leader ability, get a character down from her hand on board. Which is fine. Yep. And good game. 6 in hands. I think we can actually take this slow and not have to worry about it all too much. Let's pop it with Doctor. There's no reason for me to like go and play another Jack down. We just play smart here and we should be fine. Might as well take the search event, truthfully. Let's play that as well. No teach. Let's try this. I kind of want to play Jack, but I feel like we'd be wasting the game if we don't just go for face here. She couldn't kill me next turn, but, you know. She did opt to take in a 9k swing last turn because she didn't have the counter in hand, but she did get 2 cards off the life. And I think that's it. Another 12k. Can we get there? They played very, very well. I think Teach's ability to just limited what they could do. I feel like this Marco's about to have a rough time. Every Marco list that I've run into generally are playing with, you know, the Rayleigh, the on-play effects, and all that sort of thing. And I don't think you can build Marco without it. I think you need the Rayleigh and some of the other cards that make this deck what it is. So hopefully, this won't be too bad when it comes to us, because we could draw terribly, and he could run away with a Sanji into the Newgate big bodies and just run me over. So, we'll see. We'll grab this. I will tell you that Burgess is probably one of the best characters in this matchup, because he can't pop it no matter what he does unless he attacks into it, which is nice. His Marcos can't remove it, his Rayleighs can't remove it. We're sitting really, really good as soon as he hits the board. Most of the time. So we got the search off with his leader ability. He might as well just go 8k to face here unless he's playing another searcher down. Cool. And I'll take that. Thank you. Alright, so we got a searcher. We got 2 searchers, actually. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Let's go 5 lead first. Decides to take that hit. That's wild. No trigger. Cool. Let's play this down. So he's a 6k body right now, and he will continuously gain strength until the end of the game. And the way this works is, depending on how many cards I have in trash, every 4 cards that are in my trash, he gains 1,000 power. And this is on your turn, this is on your opponent's turn. If he decides to attack me right now, for example, let's say I have 7 in trash, right? And he attacks Burgess with 6k to match my 6k. As long as I give him a 1k counter or any card from my hand, he now becomes a 7k because I have 8 or more cards in trash. You see what I mean? So even on attack, his power increases, which is really nice. So sometimes you'll have those opportunities where you're a 7k and he attacks into you for 9, for example. And you give a 2k counter, which makes you a what? A 9. But considering you have enough cards in trash, you also gain an extra 1000 power, which makes you a 10. So, it's pretty strong. He is definitely pretty strong. Okay, so we get another 2k, and we get a stronger, so interesting. We need to remove this blocker here. I want to be as aggressive as I possibly can against this matchup while getting cards on board. So, Duck, a Boon, Pop, go 5 lead. I kind of want to use my stage, but I really don't want to throw away any of my hand right now. I think we're sitting pretty good. And after playing with stage as much, there are those games where I don't see stage, and then sometimes I do see stage. I think often not, it's more utilized for me just to find Blackbeard. Once I have Blackbeard, I don't really care about it too much, and it kind of just becomes fodder for my leader ability. Maybe I'm utilizing it wrong. You know, everyone has their own way of playing the deck, so we'll go ahead and cancel out his ability. He's got 6 Dawn open, so potentially a playing down Ace blocker or Doflamingo blocker. And then some. Seaquake. Okay. Alright. You got it, man. You got it. I did not expect that, to be fair. Vista won't work due to Teach's ability. I know it kind of feels bad. I probably messed up his whole flow too. He's probably like, I'm gonna kill this this Doc and then I'm gonna run Marco into Burgess and call it a day. But instead he's gotta do it like this. We'll take those. Thank you. We trash one, draw one with his ability basically, which is really good. Teach. What can I get here? I mean, not too bad. We can take the Searcher or another Doctor, actually. Doctor's probably better. But this allows me to see more cards, so. Can we get there? I mean, this'll do. That's for next turn. We'll trash... Yeah, we'll trash a card here too as well. Let's go 5 lead first. You left 1 Dawn open for Rad Beam probably, or Guard Point. We'll get rid of that. He becomes a 7k, because now we have 8 cards in trash. There's a Rad Beam. Let's get down another one. This card is so good in this matchup, or against any deck that doesn't have like hard bottom deck removal. It's pretty strong. I mean, if Marco wants to, I guess he can -2 on my rested one and then attack into it for 7. Because even removal at this point won't save him. Unless he has bottom decks here, or something to go to trash, which red and blue, we don't have that. So, we should be chilling here. There's Rayleigh comes down, and joke's on you because your ability does not work. My leader ability. Told you no. Come on now. Oh, you know he mad. Oh boy. That's wild. Sorry to do you guys like that. We did play against a Nami after the Marco. And I don't feel like showcasing a Nami game. I don't even know why I even decided to take the match. But it's one of those things where Nami is not fun to play against by any means necessary. We did get the W, which isn't always difficult for Teach. I personally just don't think I have enough experience in the matchup with Teach specifically to tell you guys right or wrong in that matchup. You know, if I'm playing against Katakuri, Pudding, any other deck, it's a little bit easier. I felt like Teach is one of those things where as long as you guys see your 10 drops, you see your jacks, you're chilling, but up until that point, you're not really playing anything on board, considering they're not playing a lot of stuff on board. That's going to get you value to pop cards. And you're also not drawing cards from Doctor, because you're not normally going to kill your Doctor, so just one of those things. I think it's more of a experience thing when it comes to Teach and Nami, So I do hope you guys will hopefully not have to run into that matchup ever, but each their own. All you Nami players out there, I don't know how you do it. Shout out to you guys if you guys actually main the deck, but ain't for me. Mario, what are you doing, bro? Okay. Alright. That's 10 cards in trash. Interesting deck choice here, actually. This might be a little bit fun. Maybe spooky. But that was a lot of on-play abilities there that hit the trash. Because he's utilizing the new Gecko Morias as well. Let's just go 8k face. We're going to be a little bit of aggressive here. And I'm going to start with my leader ability early. Because he has Morias in trash. So he is utilizing a lot of stuff here that does have on play. So I got to assume he's running the Perona. And why can I not place the name? I cannot place the name. The 4-drop. Oh, Dr. Hogback. Sorry. So all on play here. And if he wants to bring any of these back from the trash, he can't this turn. This would be the perfect turn for him to do that. He does have a lot of stuff down here that he can utilize. You might as well just go 7, because you're not playing anything for 3 here in this deck. Unless it's spicy. Come on, go 7. I believe in you. Good job. Okay. Trash brings Hogback out. Hogback doesn't do anything. And we'll take that. Feels bad, man. We could finger gun it, which wouldn't be too bad, but I'd rather have Laboon for later, because Jack's coming up next turn. Around 5 Dawn here. So how about we just go 6 lead? No, actually, we'll go 5 lead. We'll go 5, we'll play down Laboon, and we'll play down Laugh. And we'll call it a day. And then we'll discard for our leader ability. If they want to give me cards out of hand, hey, we'll take that too. That's fine. 4 cards left. We'll get down Laboon, we'll play Laugh, and we'll call it a day here. Use leader ability. We'll toss finger gun. We'll save the Ice Age just in case. Alright, so they're at 6. There's not a whole lot that Moria can do, I don't think. Because everything that Moria wants to play from hands for his leader ability has an on-play effect. So putting Absalon, Hogback, unless he's playing something jank. Okay, that's my 3rd Blackbeard. Ooh, okay. I like this. What just happened? Why are you... Okay, finger gun. My bad. I didn't see that. That's my fault. Let's go 5 into this. This should be guaranteed. Yep. Let's get Jack on board. We'll use Jack to pop Kumansi here. Trash Ice Age. Use leader skill. We'll get rid of Ice Age here. Actually, no. We'll get rid of the Jack. Because now they go up to 8 Dawn. They can still play Moria. Moria won't have the effect, you know? But if they play Moria here, we have the Ice Age with the Jack to get rid of it. If I want to go down that route. Which is not too bad, considering we will be at 9 Dawn on our turn. Okay. That's 5 Dawn left. That means they actually have to use Dawn for their leader ability here. What are you going to do? 6. I don't want to go down to 0 just yet. I think that'd be a bad idea. Leader skill. Okay, Ors comes out. This card's actually pretty good, to be fair. Joking. I don't understand why he's running Ors, but it's interesting. I'll give you a 2k counter. Okay. I guess with the event, with Thriller Bark event and stuff, you can do some really, really spicy things in a list like this, so I can see that. Especially with the new Moria that they got in OP09. It could be interesting. And you can't really argue with me, well, this Moria is not running a quote-unquote meta list or what have you, by your humble opinion, for example. But to be fair, I can't remember the last time Moria has been meta. You know what I mean? So, each their own. I guess we're taking Doc today. We can pretty much kill a lot of things here on board. We get rid of the Sindri. We need to kill ores as well. So we're going to have to Ice Age this, unfortunately. Because we need to remove as many bodies here as we possibly can. Get rid of Teach. We'll pop this. We'll go 7 into Sindri, and then we'll drop the Bart for a blocker on board. I think that's our best bet. Yeah. And just so we can guarantee this card to go bye-bye. Because imagine if we decide to go 5 here. And he counters out. And dons up like the dog and himself and goes for face. That'd be crazy. And unfortunately, we had to take a lot of these hits, not by choice, just because we had a lot of Blackbeards in hand and cards that had no counter. They did get value because we were able to remove stuff on board, but it's just one of those scenarios where this is the best that we can do with what we were given in this situation. I'm pretty sure next turn he's cooked, no matter what. I did not use my leader skill there, so that's my bad. That is, yep. Yeah, we might be in trouble here. I totally forgot about that. We'll see, though. We'll see. You got it. Okay. And just that one misplay can really change a game here. You get finger gun. We still have to remove this board. But I also want to get Teach down here. And I feel like locking up like Perona or Absalom is still going to be the best case scenario for us. So let's nullify his ability. Let's lock Perona down so she cannot attack next turn. And then I guess we try to clear board here. Because I either attack with Jack, and then he attacks back with Jack. Or sorry, he attacks back into Jack, which is probably a bad idea. And doing our little pop here is better for us because it allows us to draw a card. So, and we got rid of the finger gun, which had no counter to it. We'll trash this to stop his ability. Really, it's just in case he drew a Gecko Moria or something else that's going to be a problem. But I think we'll be fine. And we have to guard out here. Okay. There's the Moria. I don't think it matters at this point, though. I think we're chilling. We've got 3 left. Now we just go for face. Good game, buddy. Oh, I bet he's salty. I bet he's very upset. And 15 to face. So your boy here decided to stall me out from 12 minutes all the way down here. I don't know if this matchup is going to be fair by any means necessary, but I will try my best. We're still smashing out games here at Blackbeard, so I hope you guys are enjoying this one. I don't know how many more games we are going to play today, but hit or miss. This might be a cross-guild, some form of crocodile build, which, if you guys have played Buggy, or played against Buggy as Buggy while you're playing Teach, you know that every card that they utilize typically has an on-play ability. So, if this is a cross-guild build, your boy's not going to have any fun. This just allows me to set up the board, go 6 to face. We can drop down the boon. That is a cross-guild emoji. I'll discard finger gun. We'll pass it over. So he goes to 6 Dawn here. So, if he wants to keep smacking me, that is totally okay. As long as we can find Teach, that is, but still. Yep. 11 lead, you got it. Oof, our hand is not looking the best. We can't go out like this. Please. Not bad. Cool. We'll get the search off. Let's take the other searcher. Oh, we are digging, boys. Nothing. We'll take the 4-cost event. Actually, you're probably not going to play anything. Burgess is not going to get a lot of value here either, but he is a problem on board if we can get there. We'll go 7 here. Ah, cross guild. Here we go. We'll discard Burgess, because that's what he knows that we got. And we'll stop his ability. Well, his on-play stuff. But it seems like most cross-guild stuff, when they play cards on board, they do like another effect, right? So sometimes they're able to get multiple units down on board at a time. And in this case, this really just tells him no. I don't get why he's not playing cards down. Instead, he's just going very, very aggressive. If you wanted to play an aggro deck, you should have played red. It's a little weird. Okay, alright. You have a good one. Actually, wow, look at that hand. On play. On play. On play. On play. On play. On KO. On play. On play. Well played, buddy. Well played. We tried. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll probably play maybe 1 or 2 more games after this one, in which this might be a tough matchup for us. I think Pudding is quite strong. Like, going into this format, I think she's quite strong. But she does suffer against a lot of control-y based decks, and considering we are playing Blackbeard, we have an ability where we can just shut off all of her on-play stuff. Which, if you guys know about Big Mom, Big Mom's whole thing is, as soon as I play this card, something happens. Well, Blackbeard tells you no. So, and that goes with Ace, that goes with Big Mom. All of the late game pieces that she wants to utilize, she can't utilize in a matchup against Blackbeard. The only thing I don't have any control over is Katakuri. We're talking about like the 6-drop. Yes, we can shut off the ability in the early game here and not allow them to ramp up. But sometimes it's a little bit too late and they get the ramp anyway. So I try to fixate on the late game stages where they're playing the Big Moms down. You're gonna guard out here? Oh wow, okay, alright. So that tells me, considering they gave me the Pudding, that must mean they have Big Moms already in hand. And they chose to use Pudding as a counter instead of another search. Which is good news for us. That way we can set up the late game here with no problem. So that's 4. Yep, Bond Clay, ramp. Yeah, I probably should have used my leader skill there and got rid of the island. And just started right then and there. Because now it's a little bit too late. Okay, so we get Burgess here, which is pretty strong. They already have Katakuri in hand. Let's remove this. I don't want to deal with it. Let's get the search off. We'll take the Doctor here. And then... Actually, we'll go 5, yeah, that's fine. We know they already have Katakuri in hand. There's not really a means not to counter out here, because they need the Katakuri to flip the card down to attack with Pudding and flip cards face up. But considering they're at 8 Dawn, because they got the ramp off with Mr. 2 there, I could have stopped that, and it probably was the best move for me to do that. I just chose not to. We could have got rid of the island earlier, and then stopped her from playing Mr. 2 to get the ramp up there. So technically, she would be at 7 Dawn this turn, going into 9 with Katakuri once it hit the board. Or sorry, she would have been at 7 Dawn instead, because we already turned off her ability this turn as well. But that's okay. It's fine. We'll be alright. Let's get down Jack. Let's get rid of the Viola here. Draw a free card. What don't we need? Doctor. Go 5 lead. We'll give you the Ace. You can have it. Okay. Alright. That's the Katakuri from earlier that we knew that she had. We'll stop the on plays here as well. So here comes the Big Mom. They're at 10. And you have to assume it's already in hand due to the fact that they gave away the pudding in the early game here. So they're going to kill Jack. So no Big Mom. Never mind. Interesting. That is totally okay with me. We are chilling, boys. We're fine. We're having a great time. Well, I guess we can go all into Katakuri here. We need to leave up at least 4 Dawn. That way we can play Burgess down and have a good time. Go 10 here. What do you want to do? I very much would appreciate the whole hand. That'd be great. I mean, you could let it go. Oh, we need 4K counter? At this stage in the game? Crazy. So 0 cost event, they trash 9 cost mom, there's a 2K counter here as well. Okay. We'll play your boy down. We'll discard a card in hand here. We'll pass it over. So now he's a 7K base, by the way. It's pretty nutty. Luffy, his stuff doesn't work. That's fine. We'll take the 7. If only, right? If only he was a 5 cost. Or sorry, a 4 cost. There's Doctor. I guess we play down Teach. We lock up the leader. Which is kind of irrelevant right now, but it's more so if we lock up the Luffy so he can't swing on me. I don't think it matters here, but let's see if she'll take the ace with the Teach swing. Do you have the counter? You do. Alright. So we'll give you a 10 cost ace. You're welcome. And then we can toss Liberation. This way, if they decide to play down the ace doesn't heal, which is nice. It can still have the rush ability. Well, there goes Burgess. Yep. You got it. What happened? Oh, I thought I clicked that. I'm sorry. Hey, we got another one. But of course, we have to play down Teach here, lock up Luffy, go 12k into Katakuri, and then 5 into lead here. Let's clear this. Unless they have events. Okay, so that's gone. Go 5 lead. So far, so good. And we'll trash 1 to stop the ability. And this should be our game this turn. We've had them locked down since they got 10 Dawn. So since originally they got to 10 Dawn, they haven't been able to play Big Mom down. 13. Interesting. We'll give you a 2K. I'm not sure why they didn't just go 15K into Blackbeard there. Because that blocker's irrelevant here. I guess either way it was relevant, right? Because they can block 1 and then we still have 2 attacks left, so I guess it doesn't really matter here. Because we don't need the finger gun. Yep. 4 cards in hand. 1 of them is an ace, so this is just guaranteed damage. Please no 0 cost event. Nice. That'd been crazy. And good game. Well played, well played. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this will probably be the last game of the day. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. This was a lot of fun for me to sit down and play a little bit of Blackbeard. I've been playing this deck for the past couple weeks. I've been enjoying them. I'm very much looking forward to spamming you guys with content here for OP09. Not only for Blackbeard, but for other decks as well. So I do hope you guys are going to be interested in seeing lists and matchups from this deck here when it comes to local play. Now, with that being said, there are going to be a lot of other decks out there that I am going to be working on and playing around with. Ooh, Kuzan here. I like this. I actually like this. Pretty spicy. Hold up, let's talk about it. Hold up. So Kuzan allows you to heal your opponent, right? So they put a card in life, which means on their following turn, they can drop down the Gadetsu and hit something with a bigger value, technically. So Gadetsu always has a way of popping something on board. So in this case, we can drop your boy here and be safe, right? I guess we can push a Nell down to 2. Which isn't something I typically like to do, but I'm going to look to get Burgess on board as early as possible. And this should be fine. You shouldn't be able to remove this. Nice. That's actually pretty good. Unfortunate, but pretty good. And the only way he can get rid of this is by attacking into it heavily, or that's it. There's no bottom decking for him, so. Go 5 here. We'll block out. The 2 Shirahoshis are kind of a problem. They just absorb an attack, and that's really about it. That's 2 Robins. Okay, alright. You're cool. No Jack yet. But we have means of dealing with things like this. It might have been better for me to play down Laboon. But it's okay, because we can actually use Augur's ability to go down to Kuzan and pop it with Doctor. And then he'll be forced to kill A or B, and I get a draw card. So, he's at 6, going to 8, which means Katakuri, right? So we have to remove that. Or sorry, we have to stop that. Liberation might be useful, because we can rest the Augur, and then liberate the Nico Robin. Let's go 6 here first. This is probably silly and I really shouldn't be attacking at this point, but we stopped all the on-play abilities, so he can't really heal up next turn. I'll pass it over. We did get a card out of hand, so that's good. I don't want to risk it too much. He can't heal, so there is a Katakuri, and he can't do anything, so good job. We got a 9 Dawn next turn, 6 here. We can counter this out, and he can't attack into it because he's a 5k versus my 6. He can only clear my Doctor on board, which is totally okay. Or we can keep the Laboon, because Laboon gives -4 where Augur gives -3. But it is what it is. Go ahead, remove it. Yep, you got it. I mean, that's not bad. We can hopefully draw into another one here. Okay, so there's a Laboon. We can kill that with Laboon, actually. How convenient. -4, liberate. And we'll kill him with liberation and probably run... Let's run Teach into Robin here. Let's start off with that. Go 6 into 6. And then we'll go 7 into 6. They either let it go or give me cards in hand. What do you want to do? You know you want to block. Give me that Shirahoshi. You don't need it. Actually, in the late game, Shirahoshi really makes playing against black decks so much easier. But, okay, so there's a 2k counter. Alright. Cool. Trash this. And then we can pass, but you know what? Let's go 7 lead. This will force a block here at the very least, I think. Okay. I'll take those. Unlucky. Very unlucky. I mean, that is the risk that I was willing to take there. But still. Your boy did go up in power because Laboon went to the trash, so he is an 8K now. By this point, he probably assumes I don't have any counter in hand, which, rightfully, he's correct. Okay, so that's a Rygo, gets rid of Von Augur there. We have to play Blackbeard, of course. We'll nullify this. That can't do anything. We can trash Finger Gun. And then we can go 5 to lead. Yep. That's really cool because if he decided to take that hit, he couldn't use his passive ability. So he either had to guard from hand or block out with Shirahoshi. And thankfully we got a 2K counter out of that. Now I wonder if he's going to be able to survive next turn. No unplay for you. Ooh, that's nice to see. Alright, so we just play another Blackbeard down. Then we lock up the Katakuri so he can't swing the following turn. And then we can get rid of a card in hand to stop his on play for next turn. Which is a potential to be like an Ace or a Yamato, right? To heal up. That's kind of what a No's normally do. So no shenanigans for you. And I think we can win this turn, depending on what that last life is. Unless it's a Beji or a 0 cost, then we can't win this turn at all. Smart. Yep. Might be a little spooky, actually. We'll see. We'll see. This might be rough. Maybe we don't swing this turn. I think that might be the correct play. Then he'll just attack me with Enel and Katakuri, give me 2 cards, and the next turn we should be able to win game. I think we shouldn't attack here. So let's get this on board. 9K body for 4 Dawn. And we'll trash Stronger here to stop his on play. So he can't heal up. We'll pass it over. Now this way we have 3 attacks, unless he has another Rygo in hand, to kill Blackbeard. And that's GG. Because now he can't attack me with anything here. He can't even swing. Talk about a wall. That card is so strong. The 10 drop, it's so strong. And it's leader lock, so people can't really complain about it. But it's so good. Alright. I think we should just go for face here. Realistically. I'm just feeling like it's gonna be a Beji. Because yellow deck's in a nutshell. There's one Blackbeard there. This is really risky. I mean, that was a pretty good combinations there, but still. Now he's a 10K. And now we can just give him 2 Dawn to make him a 12. And we have 7 Dawn left, right? Yeah. So now we're swinging 12, 12, 12. Don't do it to me. Don't be a 0 cost event. Please no. Sweet. I mean, this one still could be one. Nice. Good game. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in a split second. Let's go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the end of the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. This was a lot of fun for me to put together and sit down and deck test and show you guys what I've been cooking up here when it comes to Marshall D Teach. This is my first iteration of the deck. I've tried, like I said, multiple different variations here, but this is one of my favorite ones that I've come up with that I felt confident enough to show you guys. I do hope you enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions down in the comments below. Let me know what ratios you guys are running. What is something in here that you don't typically use in your deck? Is it a little bit different? What should I try next and teach? I have some other ideas with this leader because he does have a little bit of flexible spots. So that will be in an upcoming video when it comes to teach, and I will be showcasing Blackbeard playing along against Doflamingo as soon as the sim gets updated and I can find a lot more games when it comes to that leader, because that is going to be a very, very tough leader to go and beat in OP09 if we can do it consistently, right? But currently, this is my favorite list outside of the variation with Monshiri, so do keep that in mind. If you have something a little bit different here that I should try out that I overlooked or didn't see, let me know. There are some cards, though, in Navy that I'm interested in playing around with, and it might be crazy. It might be crazy. But I was thinking about playtesting around with Kobe. This could be interesting. He's cheaper than Jack, and he does have the activate main ability. The downside to it is he's easily removed, but he is a cheap option that I might be able to play around with by replacing something like Ice Age or so, although the cost difference is quite high. This just might be something I can probably play around with and see what I can cook up. The other option I thought about playing with was Garp. The downside to this is I have to discard another card from hand, which we already do that enough as it is with our leader ability. Discarding one to use his ability is not bad at all, but discarding 2 cards almost every turn if I'm playing around with Garp could be an issue. But there are some stuff here that I might want to play around with when it comes to the Navy package here in Teach, and I'll see what I can cook up. But Teach so far has been one of my favorite decks from, I guess, since Yamato has come out. I don't think I've had this much fun with the leader since Yamato, and it's been a while. Pudding was fun up until like a certain point. Once you reach that skill ceiling with the deck, there's not really different variations or all too many different deck lists you can build when it comes to Pudding. You might be able to say the same thing here with Teach, but in OP10 we gain access to other cards as well, which will change this deck a little bit and make this deck a lot better. So even now, having a leader ability such as this, where no other deck or we've never seen before, is very interesting. We've seen the whole purple goes ramp, right? We've seen all that. So right now I'm having fun. I do hope you guys are too. Let me know what you guys are excited to play in OP09. Leave your thoughts and your opinions in your comments down below. This has been Pawseplays. Remember to smash that like button so we get these videos floating around. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching my content, and I will catch you guys in the very next one. Good luck on your pools when it comes to OP09 openings this Friday. I'll see you very, very soon.